Hi there, everyone. I'm Siri Johnson. This is Smiling Wellness Journey Coaching, and today I'm going to share some thoughts on little victories. Hi, kitty. Woo, off to a good start. So, since we're working on something that I'll talk about in a minute, I think you'll appreciate the absolute imperfection of that beginning take, and I decided to just keep it. So, little victories. Yes. Woo! Things that we want to celebrate along the journey of life, especially when it has to do with bigger projects. So, this is something that I want to share about myself, and I may know some of you, I may not know some of you, but I've realized that the only way that I can share stories is from my lens. And hopefully you'll find some nuggets that may help you along your journey. I really like the idea of calling myself a journey coach, because it resonates with my philosophy. I believe that life is a journey and not a destination, that our life is whole and long, and yet each day is an individual part of the process. And I'm one of those people that I have a lot of big ideas. And you may have a lot of big ideas, goals and intentions and things that you want to do. And sometimes they can feel really, really big. Just these massive goals that feel overwhelming and sometimes almost like a burden, but even like a sparkly magical burden. Like, oh my gosh, I want to do this thing. This is so amazing, but oh, I don't even know how to do it. And so learning to celebrate little victories along the way to keep the enthusiasm and to keep the motivation going is so important. It's easy to live in a space of self-criticizing and perfectionism, which is why I just loved that first take. That just amused me so much because it was so not perfect. And beating myself up, especially when it comes to a big project. Just living in that space of saying, oh my gosh, you have terrible time management, or why are you so remedial in this skill, or comparing my skill sets to someone else and saying, oh, they do it so much better. None of that helps. So I was thinking about little victories, and little victories are ways of celebrating the progress that is occurring inside of any big project. These steps that are being taken along the way and saying, hey, you know what? I'm doing a good job. I'm making progress. I learned a concept on learning to celebrate little bitty victories on everyday things that I already do. Hey, husband, guess what? I did the dishes. And you might be like, yeah, great. And I'll be like, yeah, it is great. I'm amazing. Or looking in the mirror after I flossed my teeth and being like, woohoo, I flossed my teeth, I flossed my teeth, I flossed my teeth. You're amazing. You rock. And doing a dance. Because what's happening in those moments is that I am training my neural pathways to recognize and feel the joy and enthusiasm of success. Have you ever had a job and had a boss or a supervisor or even another coworker that you looked up to, and that you were showing up every day and maybe working on a project, and that person said to you, hey, you're doing a really good job? And you almost feel as if like you're perking up and you're having a pep in your step because they have given you the boost of enthusiasm that you needed, and how it makes you feel better. And actually, in situations like that, it's always given me what I needed to actually want to continue to show up and do good, not only for that boss or for that supervisor, but for myself, because it made me feel good about what I was doing. And that, I love that analogy, because let's face it, we all have our own inner boss, inner supervisor, the manager that's looking out and saying, hey, how you doing? And acknowledging these two parts of ourselves and supporting each other. Isn't that fun? I like it. And here's another little tidbit. So if we have an intention or a goal in mind, every single time we do something that supports that intention, that is cause for celebration. And to just remember, like, oh, I made a little progress and it's in alignment with where I'm actually going. Yes, let's celebrate. Also, something else that I thought of not that long ago was when we have a goal or an intention that we are wanting to do or accomplish, if it is in alignment with something that we value, it's a heck of a lot easier to actually continue to show up for that job or that task or that project or goal. Some of my top values are learning, happiness, creativity, optimism, sense of humor. These are all things that I really value and that are important to me. And when I have a big goal that is in alignment with those, it makes it so much easier to want to complete it. So if you have a big project that needs to be done and maybe it's not quite in alignment with your values, reframe it, figure out a way so that it is giving you and feeding something that you actually value. Nourish your progress with little victories to get re-energized, to reignite the inner fire within you, and to remember that every day you show up and work toward wherever you're going and work toward being who you are and showing up with your gifts. Every day that you show up is a victory. So that's already successful. So remember that. Little victories are important. And so are you. And so are all of the goals and dreams that you have. So go forth, my friends. Enjoy the little victories. And thanks for tuning in.